Making moves has always been one of Tommy Egan's strong points, but we starting to notice that Tommy, he's moving real recklessly, and that's because of Mireya. Now, this is going to be an issue throughout the whole season because him and his brother-in-law Miguel, they're going to be clashing, but they're definitely going to need each other, and we know for sure that they can't take each other out until later on in the season, and we know that Tommy's going to survive. So it looks like Miguel may be the one that's taken out. Now, could that be by the hands of Mireya? Hopefully. But if Tommy does it, it's well expected and deserved. My name is Modai J. We're just going to go in, give a couple of thoughts about Tommy Egan and what's next for him in this season, especially going into episode 2. So it's kind of a prediction and just some thoughts on Tommy Egan. So if you like power content, breakdowns, theories, and predictions, daily uploads, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button and let's get this channel to 60,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Now, going into episode 2, with Tommy and Miguel, knowing that Miguel put a hit out on him and they're not supposed to be going at each other, this is going to be real tough to move in the streets without wanting to go get that revenge. Now, Mireya, she done threw that spell on Tommy, so he might be able to hold off, but Miguel is itching. He's itching to get Tommy out of here because he wants Che to know that he is the big dog of Chicago. He is more than capable of running Chicago. So for Tommy, you got Miguel, but you kind of got a little bit of relaxation. You can kind of calm down because you know he ain't really going to push up on you since you didn't call him out. But Tommy has to really look out for everyone around him. What we noticed was Diamond. We don't know which side of the fence he's on. Is it he's all the way with Tommy, or is he going to let his brother Jannard get inside of his head and convince him to do other things, especially with the D-Mac hit that they're supposed to be trying to put out there. If Tommy finds out that this is tied to Diamond, it's going to be real bad for Diamond. Now, Tommy has to worry about that. He almost got taken out by Shanti. She missed that opportunity to take Tommy out. Jannard is doing what he's doing with D-Mac. So everyone around Tommy, what we see now is they are against Tommy, which is never a good thing for them. We know Tommy's going to make it out of here. But will Tommy get shot? We've seen Tommy hurt. We've seen Tommy injured. That's one of the big things we need to look at. Now, we didn't see JP, but we heard Tommy call JP, and we also heard him saying he wanted to speak with Kate. Now, this could be Kate going back to New York City because we're not sure what the timeline is with everything that happened in New York City with Diana dropping off the letter. So that's a thing that we need to pay attention to and try to get the timeline correct. Also, Stacey Marks. We don't know if Stacey Marks still has that vengeance to go and get Tommy, or is she going to just drop what Tommy has going on and go for these convictions? And the reason she wants the convictions is because of she's trying to be the mayor. Now, I don't think she's going to just be able to give up on Tommy that easily because two things. She has Vic and she has to protect Vic. And now Vic works directly for Tommy because they know he's the snitch. So with Tommy having Vic go and relay in false information, that could definitely mess up the RICO. And to make the RICO stronger, they might need Tommy because Mirakovich is gone. Ortega, we're not too sure what's going to happen with him. We just know that the lawyers is paying for Claudia. Now, in the trailer, we seen Claudia say, I got one more play. So again, this big circle is all around Tommy. Everyone at this point is just looking at Tommy. And back to the Stacey Marks. If she's getting false information from Vic, that could throw off her RICO case, which is going to make her double back and go straight for Tommy. So it's really no escape path for Tommy at this point, just because he's in the thick of it. He's in the middle of the game. He has everyone against him. He's still trying to prove himself to Che. We don't know what D-Mac is going to do because D-Mac is going to be the person that draws Tommy into that trap that Shanti and Jannard were setting up. So I'm curious to see who's going to get the closest to Tommy. And you remember, King Kilo is supposed to take out Diamond and Tommy. So there's really no one in this season that's on Tommy's side right now besides JP and D-Mac. But even D-Mac is a little hesitant. But with King Kilo, we don't know who he has out on the streets. We don't know who he can get in touch with. But we know in order to get D-Mac out, Shanti and them are going to try to use that as leverage to get Diamond and Tommy knocked off. I do want to look towards the direction of Mireya. Now, with the valuable information that Mireya knows about her brother taking out Armando, could she give that information to Tommy? I don't think she would turn on her brother unless he did something that harmed her or actually injured her. Now, that's where we're going to be a little confused with, because Tommy says he's really interested in her, but I'm not sure how close he's going to be to her, knowing for the simple fact that he could be putting her in harm's way with Miguel coming after him. See that hit that they tried to put on them, which I don't even know how Miguel and them knew that he was with Shanti, unless Shanti texted and said, "Hey, Tommy's here," because remember, they were waiting on that in the beginning of the episode. So it's kind of weird. Everyone is overlapping and crossing. We don't know who is with who and who's not going to backstab somebody else. So I'm definitely wondering which play will work the best on Tommy. And right now, I'm thinking the Jannard and Shanti play might be the closest one to actually get to Tommy and potentially get him touched. Why? Because that puts Tommy in a very, very vulnerable spot. Shanti and Jannard heard him calling JP, asking about Kate. Then they got close to his nephew, D-Mac. You see what I'm saying? And we know one thing about Tommy, when it comes to family, that's one of the most important things. I think Tommy goes family, then the love interest. So Mireya is on the back burner. And like I said, he has a little bit of a wall to relax because Miguel ain't going to try to do nothing too slick. So Jannard and Shanti with the King Kilo situation and D-Mac, I think they have the best opportunity to actually get at Tommy and apply that pressure. Now, how will he be able to get out of that? I'm not sure, but that leads me to the prediction of which we were all thinking JP's probably not going to make it. So if they get close to D-Mac, they'll end up getting JP, use him as leverage, and that's how Tommy is going to end up turning completely on Jannard and Shanti. So you hear it first, Jannard, Shanti, King Kilo situation. They're going to get JP, and that's probably how JP is going to be RIP. But let me know what you think about that. My name is Modi J. These are some of the predictions and theories I have for Tommy Egan going into episode 2 and for the overall season. Let me know what your thoughts are about Tommy. Who do you think has the best opportunity to get close to Tommy and potentially take him out? Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I tried something different where I'm just giving you my thoughts and firing them out 8 minutes straight, talking about Tommy Egan. Tune in tomorrow. I'm probably going to do the video on Diamond, followed by Jannard. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 60,000 subscribers. If you like power, this is the channel for you. Thanks.